Found a fish!
Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldus and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show.
It's Friday Night Flies. It's raining outside. That's why I'm inside. Anyhow, we tied a fly earlier. We did a mayfly where I was using some scraps that I've got left over from tying a bunch of moto minnows. Anyhow, tonight, this pattern, fairly simple. As long as you remember to leave enough room at the head to tuck in your pheasant tail. And lo and behold, I messed up on one of them so far tonight. And we just don't want you to have the same problem. So we're going to show you how to do that. Anyhow, this pattern today is called a halfback. The reason for that, here, let's go down to the bottom camera here quick. No point in jibber jabbing too much. But what makes a halfback nymph is this lovely pheasant tail case across the back, which covers half the back of the fly. Hence the name halfback. I'm going to let you guess what would make a full back. You're right. A full back covering. So, now that we know what a halfback and a full back is all about, let's get to tying this cute little bugger. Okay? Okay. So, what are we going to start with tonight? We are starting with a Daiichi size 6 curved hook. And if you're wanting the particulars on the style number is a 1260. So 1260 Daiichi. We're using black uni thread in a 6/0. Just put a little bit of base down on the hook here quick. Get to time. We got a good show tonight. I know Zachy's got a couple patterns for us. I might even tie another one tonight. I'm not too sure. Hey, it's raining outside. I got nothing better to do. Not that I don't like hanging out with you guys, but this is a perfect day to tie flies, is when it's ugly outside. So, now, what we got, you can see I've been tying a few flies today. I've already burned a whole half side of my pheasant tail. So we're going to take a chunk of pheasant tail to make the tail. Pheasant tail make good nymph tails. So we take a good chunk of that, probably about, well, you can see that's about that thick. Try and line the tips up. See, they're not all that lined up, so you push the one side forward, line them up, give them a little squishy, and then you want to go about the gap of the hook and push that off the back. So at that point, and some guys can go pretty crazy on the amount of tail that they put on a fly. There's not too many flies out there that have a really big tail, except for the ones that like leeches and stuff like that, but they don't count. Not tonight, they don't. And you don't really want to cut your thread off when you're doing that. So hopefully I can recover this quickly. Yeah, recovered quickly is what that was. Quick recovery. Did you see that, Mr. Cameraman?
It was good recovery there.
Yeah, occasionally the pros make mistakes. But it's not so much the mistake, it's how you get back to tying the fly. And I mean, if you looked away for 2 seconds, you wouldn't even notice that I did that. So, at this point, we're taking our diamond dub from Superfly. This is the bronze olive. And it's olive with a bit of bronze strand in it. It's really nice stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. Really easy to dub, twist on there. I took a lot out there, but we'll mix that in eventually. So with a halfback, you don't want to make the bodies too crazy big. Some guys like them really big. The big thing is that you want to make the contour start out fairly thin at the back end and work up to the meat and potatoes up the head. So, and that's pretty well how the story goes. Start out thin, work your way up. Kind of like me. Started out thin, and as I got higher in age, I kind of filled out a little bit. Funny how that works. So, that's where we're going to get to. Working up. The climax. The climax. You know what? I'm chewing my gum like a horse here. Maybe I'll get rid of this gum. There we go. That's probably a little bit better sitting here just grinding my teeth. Now, we want to take another chunk of that Frasian tail. This is how you're going to get that nymph back. So you want to take a fair good chunk of that stuff. About the same as what you grab for the tail, a little bit more. Match up the ends. It's not so much the head that's the important part, it's the back end when it folds over. So by tying that in a little bit, see how it's made the body a little bit thicker there? You're not going to need as much dubbing now. That's the trick. Aight. Okay, so dubbing time. Take some more of that beautiful bronze dub, olive dubbing. Tie that guy in there. The big thing is remember, we don't gotta get too close to the head or the eye of this hook like we did before, or you're gonna run into problems. It's nice stringy dubbing. I love this stuff, man. It's so easy to work with. So easy to work with. Just want to get that body, the head there, bulked up, but okay, so we got that bulked up. Now what we got, a chunk of grizzly hackle. Grizzly hackle. I got this beautiful grizzly hackle from another fellow tire, Zach Copeland down at Bass Pro. Good man. I had that on my wish list for Santa, and he beat Santa to the punch. So that's the kind of guy I roll with right there. Zach, you're a good man. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking that hackle and I'm just kind of grooming it out a little bit just to make it look like it got hit with a little bit of electricity, if you know what I'm saying. So you want to do that just to fuzz it out so it's not stacking on top of itself. And that little tag, cleared a bit of stuff off of her. I'm going to take that guy, tie it in by the end, work your way up, take your hackle plier.
Is it? You guys have?
Hey, we're kind of like, you want to go and help them out here. There's, sorry, we got customers coming through here. It's quiet, but it wasn't so quiet.
Hey, do you guys have guitar strings?
Oh, no guitar strings.
Where does somewhere around there?
Earthquake.
Oh,
Sorry about the shake there. This hackle's a little bit longer than the camera allows for here, but we're working it. We're going to work it, baby. Anyhow, see, you can stack that pretty well on itself. Get her nice and thick. That's what we're looking for, nice and thick. Guy comes into the sports shop looking for guitar strings. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, if he was looking for fly tying stuff, I got lots of that for him.
No guitars though.
No guitars. Okay, so we got all that nice grizzly hackle tied in. Pull it back a little bit here just so we can lock it down. Nice and pretty like. So, at that point, I'm going to show you a little trick. This is, you got all that nice grizzly hackle up on top. This is, we're taking it to the barber here now. Nice and flat on the top, just like bingo. Flat top. We're giving it a crew cut. Give it a little blow. Get rid of a lot of this loose stuff up in front. Now we're going to take that pheasant tail that we tied off from behind. We'll bring that sucker right forward, tight up to the front. So you're going to give it a couple good wraps. And then we're going to pull back on it a little bit. And what that does is tighten this top case in a major way. Give her a good pull back on both of them. At this point, I'm going to take your cut that off with your scissors. And we're going to work it back a little bit. Just to tighten it right up nice and tight. Right up to the eye. Bingo! That's pretty nice. And to line it all up, you can kind of twist it around with your fingers if you need to. At that point, I'm going to take a whip finisher. I'm going to clean it all up. We're going to get ready to tie another fly here. You got any good jokes there, cameraman?
No.
Put them on the spot. Okay, so got that locked down. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. A nice, beautiful little halfback with a grizzly hackle for a little bit of movement in the water. And at this point, you can take your Velcro strip or your dubbin strip, whatever the dubbin picker, I don't know what they call it. You can take this guy, you can bug it out a little bit. You don't need to go too crazy. I like them not too big. And you'll find that after you get a fish or two, they kind of work themselves out. But if I had a rotating vise, I could show you. But since I don't, we'll take it out of the vise and I'll just show you what the back looks like. Okay. Sexy, very nice, I like. And then, oh, I dropped it. Hold on. We'll get back here. It flew away. That bug flew away. Did you see that? Alright, and then we'll show you what the underbelly looks like. So you got the underbelly. Looks something like this. Looks real buggy. This pattern's going to smoke them. So, you got yourself a new halfback to try. I'm really looking forward to trying this this spring. Anyhow, we'll go back up top. Are we there?
Yep.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. And you've seen a quick recovery there when I cut my thread off, which it's not how quick you do it, it's how good you do it, right? So who cares? Quick recovery, you wouldn't even know by looking at that fly. Anyhow, it's Friday night. Friday Night Flies. Your host here, Brad Knowles with the most. Signing out. Enjoy the rest of the show.